Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I will call this January 27th, 2021 meeting of the Albuquerque Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority to order. I would like to welcome Commissioner Benson to the Water Authority, and all members are present this evening via video conference. We are now at our moment of silence, followed by the pledge, and I'd like to ask our new member, Commissioner Benson, if you'd like to lead us.
Yes, ma'am. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. As posted on our website and noted on our published Water Authority agenda, this meeting is being held via video conference. The Water Authority accepted general public comment and comment on the meeting's specific agenda items in written form via email through 4 p.m. today, and these comments were distributed to all board members. We are now on item 3, approval of the minutes. I make a motion to approve the December 9th, 2020 minutes. Is there a second? Councilor Davis. So there's a motion and a second by Councilor Davis. Ms. Carrion, roll call, please.
Councilor Pena.
Yes.
Commissioner Walt Benson.
Yes.
Councilor Pat Davis.
Yes. Yes.
Trudy Jones.
Yes.
Member Sarita Nair.
Yes.
Commissioner Charlene Piscotti.
Yes.
Commissioner Stephen Michael Quesada.
Yes.
That passes unanimously.
Thank you, Ms. Carrion. So next, we are on proclamations and awards. There are none this evening, followed by public comment. As previously stated, public comment was accepted prior to the meeting by email. So you should have any comments that were received in your email box. Next is item 6, announcements and communication. Our next scheduled meeting will be February 24th, 2021 at 5 p.m. via video conference. So now we have our letter of intro, and we have AR20, sorry, it's not AR, it's R21-3, amendment to the approved capital implementation program of the Albuquerque Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority for fiscal year ending 20/30/21, and Mr. Allred will be speaking on this.
Madam Chair and members of the board, what this is just a reallocation of an appropriation the board has already approved. We are taking amounts from items that have not spent and moving them to other projects that we may want to do, or other projects that that need additional funding. There is no increase in appropriation on this resolution. It's just purely a CIP cleanup. And it also allocates an additional $2.8 million transfer from Fund 621, which is the general fund, to CIP fund from additional fund balance in the operating fund. And it's for introduction only. And they stand for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Allred. Are there any questions? Seeing none, because I can't see all the participants this evening, I'm looking to the raised hands and I don't see any questions. So thank you, appreciate it. So now we are on item 8, consent agenda. We have a motion. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Ms. Carrion, roll call.
Councilor Pena.
Yes.
Commissioner Benson.
Yes.
Councilor Davis.
Yes.
Councilor Jones.
Yes.
Member Nair.
Yes.
Commissioner Piscotti.
Yes.
Commissioner Quesada.
Yes.
Passes.
Thank you, Ms. Carrion. So with that, we are now on approvals. On R 2025, approving a development agreement for water and sewer service for the Quivera Estates. Mr. Chris Cadena
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board.
will be
I
presenting on
present
this.
to you a development agreement for a 24-lot residential subdivision near the intersection of Rainbow and Unser. Happens to be within the city of Albuquerque, but outside of the adopted service area. The property lies within pressure zone 4W of the Volcano Trunk, and water and wastewater service is contingent upon a developer building some water lines and sewer lines for their development. And all services provided within the development will be subject to the current utility expansion and water resource charges. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Cadena? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve R 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. I'm not sure who that came from, but Ms. Carrion, will you do the roll call?
I believe the second was from Commissioner Quesada. Now I will take roll call.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor Peña,
Yes.
Commissioner Benson,
Yes.
Counselor Davis,
Yes.
Counselor Jones,
Yes.
Member Nair,
Yes.
Commissioner Piscotti,
Yes.
Commissioner Quesada.
Yes.
That passes unanimously.
Thank you, Ms. Carrion. So now our final item under approvals is R 2026, authorizing the execution and delivery of water project fund loan grant agreement by and between the New Mexico Water Trust Board and the New Mexico Finance Authority and the Albuquerque Bernalillo County Water Utility Authority. Mr. Alred, once again.
Thank you, Madam Chairman, members of the board. The first reading was in the December board meeting. This is for final action. This is a loan / grant with the New Mexico Water Trust Board. $800,000 is a loan, which is 40% of the $2 million, and 1.2 million is grant funded. This allows us to put in an additional 10,000 meters in our automatic meter infrastructure system. We currently have about 100,000 AMI meters in the ground, which is over half of the water meters in the ground for the water authority. Staff recommends approval of this, and I stand for any questions.
So are there any questions for Mr. Alred? Seeing none, I will motion approval of R 2026. Is there a second?
Second.
Madam Chair.
There's a second by Commissioner Piscotti. Ms. Carrion, will you do the roll call?
Yes. Counselor Peña,
Yes.
Commissioner Benson,
Yes.
Counselor Davis,
Yes.
Counselor Jones,
Yes.
Member Nair, that was a yes. Commissioner Piscotti,
Yes.
Commissioner Quesada,
Yes.
that passes unanimously.
Thank you, Ms. Carrion. So now we are on our final item of the evening, and that is other business. So we have several presentations, and I don't know if I can have the liberty of moving some of those presentations around. One of them you have on your agenda, which is B, and it's OB 21-2. That'll actually be heard at a subsequent meeting. And then we have OB 21-1, which is the election of officers. If it's okay to proceed, I'd like to go ahead and do that. And then whoever's the chair can do the final presentations, which will be 3 that we have this evening, just because it's my grandson's 15th birthday. And I want to make sure that we can have dinner with him. So if everyone's okay with that, I will go on to election of officers. And we have the first item under that is for chair. If there's any nominations for chair, I personally would like to nominate Commissioner Quesada. And then I don't know if there's any additional nominations. Commissioner Piscotti?
Oh, I'll second for Commissioner Casada.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Hearing none, looks like by acclamation, Commissioner Quesada, congratulations.
Thank you, Madam Chair, but I didn't second that, but thank you so much, and I appreciate it. I think this would be the second time I chair the Water Utility Authority, so it's an honor. It's an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner. So then now we have any nominations for the vice chair?
Madam Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Quesada?
I will nominate Councilor Pena.
Oh, okay, thank you. Sure. Are there any other nominations? Any other nominations? Any other nominations? Hearing none, I guess by acclamation, I get it. So thank you. Appreciate that. I just want to say, we have Commissioner Benson here, who is now here on behalf of the County Commission. We had Commissioner O'Malley previously. I just want to just recognize her for her service. We really appreciate her. She served as the vice chair last year, and she did a wonderful job. And as everyone knows, during this time of COVID, it's been presented some just different challenges for us. So I want to thank Commissioner O'Malley for her service. And then I also just want to just briefly say, thank you for allowing me to serve last year. I just really appreciate all the work that, everyone does there at the Water Authority. I think it's just an exemplary organization and serves our city and our county well. So thank you. And with that, we will move on to the OB 21-3 presentation, and that is the 2020 Customer Service Conversations Recap, and that's Mr. David Morris, and then I will turn it over to Commissioner Quesada as he's doing his presentation. So thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. Congratulations, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Yes, congratulations, and thank you for having me this evening. My name is David Morris. I'm the Public Affairs Manager for the Water Authority, and I have a brief presentation for you tonight to recap our water customer conversations that we held last year. And so I will now attempt to share my presentation screen with you. And there we have it. So, for those of you not familiar with Customer Conversations, it's an initiative we first undertook about 10 years ago to obtain face-to-face customer feedback on water-related issues of importance to the community. It's similar to a focus group, but on a larger scale, more like a town hall, and its participants are customers recruited from all 4 quadrants of our service area. Past topics, just for example, have included our Water 21-20 strategy, the redesign of the utilities, water quality report mailer was one of the more recent ones. In 2020, the topic was residential watering recommendations and what might be done to enhance our existing Water by the Numbers program, which suggests the number of days to water based on the time of year. Our main focus was to obtain feedback on a new watering recommendations guide being developed for customer use by our water resources section. The Because of the pandemic, this was our first attempt at a virtual customer conversations program. But our recruitment process followed along the same lines as we've done in the past. We promoted the event via water bill inserts that went out to all customers receiving paper bills, news releases, and email blasts. And we sweetened the pot by offering incentives for participation. These included a Grubhub gift card for all attendees, plus a chance to win conservation-related raffle prizes like rain barrels and smart irrigation controllers. We planned 3 virtual customer conversations meetings for mid-November, one on a Tuesday evening, one on a Thursday afternoon, and one on a Saturday morning. Since this was our first online effort, we had to guess at how many slots to make available for participants, given the number of facilitators we had available and the inevitability of no-shows. We decided to cap registrations at 70 participants per session. In the end, we had 209 registrations total and 92 actual participants for a no-show rate of 56%. This is something we'll keep in mind should we do this again in the future, open up a number of more slots. Our goal in customer conversations is always to have broad participation across geographic and demographic categories. In the 2020 geographic breakdown, the Northeast had the highest representation, which corresponds to historic patterns. Perhaps owing to the virtuality factor, we did see more participation by younger customers than we anticipated based on past history. 75% of attendees were under the age of 65 and 50% were between the ages of 45 and 64. All of the participants were treated to a 90-minute virtual event developed in consultation with the utility's Technical Customer Advisory Committee. It included video presentations, interactive polls, and moderated breakout discussions. The complete outcomes report complete outcomes report is available to anyone who wishes to review it. It's in the supporting documents to this agenda item. But briefly, the chief takeaways were that we need to keep our programs as simple and straightforward as possible. The need for sensitivity regarding the costs of landscape conversions and the use of so-called smart irrigation technology, and the importance of readability and simplicity in charts, publications, and guides. When it was all over, we polled participants on their experience, and their evaluations were overwhelmingly positive. As you can see from the charts here, strongly agree in every category. My time was well spent, my input was valued, and I would do this again. So overall, given the constraints we faced because of the pandemic, I thought it was a successful program last year, and we'll look forward to doing something similar this year. And having said all that, I would stand for any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. Do we have any questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you for that. It's pretty interesting information. You know, the participation would be better if it was a little larger, but I know that we're in new times and we can't really reach out to, you know, neighborhood associations and whatnot like we used to before. But I really appreciate the information. And so thanks. Before I move on, it's just really nice to see everybody's face here on the screen and the business being moving forward. And Mr. Rael, it's really nice to see you, sir. You know, I hadn't seen Mr. Rael in a while, so I'm glad that he's you know, he's able to continue to keep joining us, and hopefully me and you could talk soon. So we'll move on to item OB 21-4. That's the assisting customers during COVID presentation.
Good evening, Luth, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I should be sharing my screen of the cover slide, assisting customers during COVID. I hope everybody can see that.
Wait 1 second, Adrian. I think
Okay,
you're the presenter now, so go ahead and try and share once again.
okay. How about now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. So, good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. My name is Adrienne Candelaria, and I'm the Customer Service Division Manager. In the December meeting, I believe, Councilor Pena, you inquired about what the Water Authority's customer assistance programs are and what we've done to enhance them. So I just wanted to spend a few minutes tonight reviewing those and then describing to you all what we've done during this time of COVID. So I'm going to advance through the slides. Maybe. There we go. So actually in the fall of 2019, I came before you and described our customer assistance program. So this will just be a recap. You know, we have a low-income assistance program, and that's administered by partners that we have with the Storehouse and the Rio Grande Food Project. We also have a program called the Water Assistance Fund. It operates similar to the P&M Good Neighbor Fund, and in fact, the Rio Grande Food Project administers the Good Neighbor Fund for P&M. So actually, that really gives us a good way to reach out to more than just one customer base. People oftentimes are customers of both. And we also partner with the city of Albuquerque. Prior to COVID, of course, they had folks coming into some of their designated community centers to apply for rental assistance and things like that. We still share that information with them so that they can reach out to our common customers and let them know about the programs we offer. Real quickly, on the low-income credit program, I just want to review the benefits. Customers get a credit on their bill of up to $21.93. That goes towards trash, sewer, and water. When you're eligible for low income, it's good for a full year. It is up to the customer to renew annually. The eligibility requirements are that you have to be the owner and occupant in order to qualify for the low-income credit, and your account must be current, and there are some income eligibility requirements as well. As far as how we fund that program, funding is through the Water Authority. It's part of our rate ordinance, and of course we contract, like I said, with Rio Grande Food Project and the Storehouse to administer that project. This is a graph of each fiscal year going back 10 years. You can see the number of low-income credit accounts, and we've been steady. So looking back over the last 3 years, we've seen a little bit of growth, and that's good, and we're holding steady. And we do a lot of outreach each year to make sure people are reapplying so that they can stay qualified. The other program that we administer for helping customers is Water Assistance Fund. And the Water Assistance Fund is a one-time emergency fund to help folks pay a bill or get assistance towards paying a bill. May not cover the whole amount. And what's nice about this program, and this is one of the areas that we've enhanced, is that the grant used to be $150, and back in late May, early June, we increased that up to $250. And also this year, one thing that's different is you don't have to be the property owner. You can also be the tenant. As long as you're responsible for paying the bill, you can qualify for this. So that's really helped a lot of our customers. And in addition, if you are also on the low-income credit program, you can get an additional $50 to help you remain on the program. Because with low-income credit, you need to keep your bill current. As far as eligibility, like I said, this year it's expanded to include the tenant. There are some income eligibility requirements, just like low income. And much like the Good Neighbor Fund, you need to have a qualifying emergency, which really in this case has been, with this economy, a lot of people losing their jobs. So the way that the Water Assistance Fund is funded is through customer donations. They make contributions through their water bill. Employees of the Water Authority also can donate to the Water Assistance Fund through United Way. And then, of course, we have authorization of funds through our budget and the board. This year, one of the things we did in the summer, it becomes hard with food banks who rely on customers coming to them to get their food. They had to close down, so they had to get creative about how they distributed their food. So they packed up food in boxes and they basically had drive-through events. This year, we reached out to them and said, gee, we'd like to make sure people are still aware of both the WAF and low income, and what we basically gave them a bunch of flyers, and they put a flyer in every single food box that they distributed as part of their drive-through events. So I was really happy to be able to provide that information, even though people were no longer coming into the food bank. This graph here just shows you this last calendar year, what the funds look like for Water Assistance Fund. This is funds that we've given out to customers. So you can see here at the end of December, we're up to over $15,000. So we've seen a steady increase. Kind of compare that back to April and May when it was lower. And these are the number of grants for the same time period, the calendar year 2020. So we saw an increase in the awards as well. That dip you see in March and April and may seem a little bit odd because we were in COVID, but what was happening is people weren't going out of their homes. They were asked to stay home. And so once kind of things were reopening a little bit in terms of getting out, you can see those applications started coming in. And of course, additionally, I know you're all aware of this, but I just wanted to reiterate, it's important that we are not charging any late fees, so no penalties for non-payment, and we're not doing any turnoffs for non-payment. And we stopped that back in March. So I think we restored service in March to over 2,500 customers as a result of not only did we cease turnoffs, but we went out and turned people back on to make sure that they had service. So I hope that answers some of the questions that came up at the December board meeting. That concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Candelaria. Do we have any questions? Ms. Nair.
Thank you, Chair Quesada, and thank you, Ms. Candelaria, for your presentation. I just wanted to add in a plug for the city's Financial Navigators program. There are so many wonderful programs out here like this one to help people through this time. What the Navigators program does is it's a sort of a one-stop shop, one point of entry to connect you to all these different resources that you might need, including this great program by the Water Utility Authority. So if you go to the CABQ website and you type in Financial Navigators, you'll find it, or feel free to call 311, but we'll help you get connected with all of those assistance programs. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. And I personally like to thank, Mark Sanchez. I can't tell you how many emails we got throughout the year, and he responded and really helped a lot of people in my district and quickly. So, Mark and your staff, you've been amazing with really helping the people. And we're trying to do more of that in the county ourselves. We're trying to identify some dollars now just to really start to help people with even, property taxes. We had a discussion last night about how, we can help, through this time and for people in need. So we don't have that up and running yet. We're not on it like the city yet, but we'll be there really soon. We'll be there really quick. So I just wanted to throw a plug out for that and for everybody to keep an eye out for that also. So thank you for that presentation. We'll go to the final agenda item, and it's really not my favorite one, but it's the one we have to hear, and it's the drought report. Living in New Mexico, we don't like to hear the word drought on anything, but I don't know who's doing the presentation, but I'll just turn it over to who's going to be giving us the drought report tonight.
Carlos?
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon, Commissioner Quesada, Chair, and members of the board. I was hoping this was your favorite presentation, but I'll try to make it. I'll try to make it fun. But there's definitely nothing fun about drought. is definitely a situation that we're facing. And with that said, I'll jump into the presentation and talk about what we're seeing and how we're moving forward and preparing for the irrigation season. So water demand, 2020 total rainfall was really dry. It's actually one of the driest years in the last 10 years. We had 6.9 inches. The average for Albuquerque of what we've been seeing for all zip codes is between 9 and 12 in the last 10 years. So, you know, having an abnormal 3 inches less in a given year definitely shows and demonstrates why concepted uses can go up. And with that said, sorry.
Carlos, you're on mute.
How did I end up on mute? Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So with that said, 2020, it's about 40 to 50 inches below normal, and total and concepted use for 2020 was higher than previous years, due mainly to the lack of precipitation and the dry winter that we had moving in from 2019 to 2020. And also the added increased temperatures. A lot of the talk, what's going on with the drought monitoring group is that the added temperatures in 2020 really made a hit on watering and evaporation and outdoor demand. The average increased temperature was about 3 degrees higher than in the last 20 years. So that's pretty remarkable, and that's really the scary thing. 2020 is amongst the warmest and driest, and some areas of New Mexico had not been as dry and warm since 2004. So with that said, current average daily demand for winter level is roughly at 53 million gallons per day, compared to a peak demand of what we saw in 2020 of about 143 million gallons. And that 53 million gallons is pretty consistent with the demand that we've been seeing in the last 5 to 8 years. So there's no indication that irrigation season is starting early or earlier than what we've seen in the last 5, 6 years. With that said, the drought outlook and where we are right now is somewhat gloomy, and we are taking action to prepare for the commence of a really dry season. The winter season to date is about half the normal precipitation. We've had 3 events that may or may not influence the outlook as we move forward, but for now, the conditions are pretty much the same as how we started the winter. The seasonal outlook, climate from the New Mexico Climate Prediction Center for the next 3 months, it shows drought conditions persisting, dry winter conditions with some small or medium-sized storms, kind of like what we saw this past weekend. But overall, it's within 40 or 50% below average precipitation for the next 3 months. So here comes the fun part. And because of drought mainly, we have an opportunity mainly during the summer and early fall season. That's typically when we see the highest water demand times in the year. And we are focusing on mitigation during this time periods, but we don't want to wait until the summer to start our activities. So one of the things that we're doing is that we're amplifying with a seasonal message starting out between March and April to assure our customers that we are in a drought, we are in drought conditions, and we need to make everything possible to assure that we're not wasting water. And as part of the wasting water, we're adding more compliance. We're adding 2 more interns. We'll be patrolling close to 24 hours doing inspections and tackling all waterways to make sure that it gets solved as quickly as we identify it. Besides that, we're activating some of the strategies that have been successful in the past. One of them is Water Smart classes. We're going to be offering 8 online virtual classes to our customers. And aside from that, we're also rolling out our Water Smart Academy for professional landscapers, which are the ones that are managing most of the large landscapes and their irrigation use in the field. So we're launching in March with 6 classes, and then April we're going to have another 6 classes, and then we're going to have monthly classes, at least 4 classes for Water Smart Academy and 2 classes for Water Smart for customers between March and September. Other than that, we continue right now to offer leak audits to APS. That's proving to be an incredible outcome based on what we're finding and the relationship that we're building with APS. In the last year alone, we identify almost in the realms of 500,000 to 75 gallons per hour loss for all the sites we identified. And we've narrowed that list to 25 gallons loss in the hour. So it's definitely paying off. We identify almost like 200 leaks in schools, and APS is really happy with that because ultimately it's going to help them save water and save money so they can put that into the schools. And finally, we're promoting the water efficiency and smart technology. And as David mentioned, we're working on a guide so we can thinking towards the next 10 years and providing guidance on how to water properly every type of landscape that we find here in Albuquerque. And that's my presentation, and I stand for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Bustos. I think for everybody out there, you know, I served on the APS school board before I moved to the county commission. And just for everybody's information, the average APS school is 45 years old. And that's how that's just average 45 years old. So, you know, I'm not surprised on what you're finding out there, Mr. Bustos, with, you know, with the construction and with the aging of a lot of the schools and really 45, no matter what part of the district that you're at, you know, your schools are older. The elementary schools and middle schools and high schools. You know, we've upgraded some schools, but, you know, I think they have a long way to go. I think this is a great program. So thank you for, you know, teaming up with APS. You know, I've always been trying to team up with APS on every which way I can because, you know, they're important and they're a big, huge, you know, entity in Albuquerque. And so a great job, you know, again, Mr. Sanchez and staff for being proactive on that. Do we have any questions for Mr. Bustos?
Thank you, Commissioner.
No? Okay. Thank you so much. You did a great job for it being the drought report. We appreciate the enthusiasm, but it's kind of,
Thank you.
It's a tough pill to swallow. Other than that, I think that's the end of our business for today. We will send out the next meeting. I don't have that in front of me, but Luz will send out the invite for the next Water Utility Authority meeting, unless you have that in front of you.
So our next meeting is February 24th.
Okay, so February 24th. Thank you so much again. It's good seeing everybody's faces. Please stay safe. And, you know, oh, hey, what's up, buddy? What a beautiful dog that is. And everybody stay safe, and we'll see you all soon. Okay? Bye-bye.
Thank you.